So not everybody has 20,000 square feet of lawn like I do, and not everybody has a backpack sprayer. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can put this GCI 2000 in a hose and sprayer and get great results. Let's get into the video.
Just a matter of time before things didn't go right. Now I pay the price. It's keeping me.
So I recently made a video on this GCI 2000. This is a fantastic fertilizer, and I'll link up in the corner where you can go check that out. Up until now, every video that I have made has been showing you guys how to use a 4-gallon battery-powered backpack sprayer. So what do you do if you don't have a backpack sprayer? Well, I'm going to show you that you can use this in a hose and sprayer and spray it out. So let's talk about this GCI first. This is a fantastic fertilizer. About 2/3 of it is quick release nitrogen and the other third is slow release. It's a 2000, so 20% of this is nitrogen. It'll really green up the lawn. There are two options. You could pick these up on Amazon, and I'll leave links to both. This is the one that I recommend. If you don't know anything about these, the way they work is, and it's actually kind of cool, it's through the Venturi effect, which basically means that there's a straw inside here, and as your water comes through your hose and gets sprayed out here, it creates a negative pressure, which actually pulls and draws that liquid up from inside your container, i.e. the Venturi effect. I know I've talked about backpack sprayers ad nauseum, but these are hose and sprayers. These are very different. When you are using a hose and sprayer, most of them, I think this one does. This is a Chameleon. Again, I'll leave links down below where you can find all this. I'll leave links for the 2000 as well, and these hose and sprayers. This one does not have a dial on it. It's either on or it's off. This one, you can set the dial on it, and the dials have either tablespoons or ounces. And what that means is that you are applying the liquid per gallon. So if it says 1 ounce, so if we turn this to say 1 ounce, okay, that means for every ounce of, for every gallon of water, it's gonna pull out 1 ounce of liquid. So if we turn this up to say 2 ounces, now for every gallon of water, it's gonna pull out 2 ounces. So why is that important? Why mention that? Why does this one have a dial and this one doesn't? When it comes to hose and sprayers, you have so much carrier volume. We talk about that with backpack sprayers. You have so much carrier volume because think, every time a gallon comes out of this sprayer, it's only pulling 2 ounces. So stop and think about that for a second. So when in a backpack sprayer, you may only have 4 gallons of liquid and you're putting sometimes 9 ounces per 1,000. So you could be putting up to say 60, 70 ounces of liquid in only 4 gallons. But with this, we're drawing 2 ounces for every gallon of water. So you can see the rate at which it pulls out is going to be so, yeah, I see what I did there. The rate at which it pulls out. That was my nickname in college. 2 ounces of liquid per gallon of water. So you're gonna get much more liquid in doing it with a hose and sprayer than you would, say, a backpack sprayer. So why don't I do my 20,000 square foot lawn with this? Why not use this instead of the backpack sprayer? Well, the main reason is because it's 20,000 square feet. I can only put so many ounces. I think this only holds 32 ounces of liquid. I would be out here all day if I was trying to cover, the 20,000 square feet, only putting 32 ounces at a time down. That would just be crazy. But for those of you that have small lawns, 2,000 feet, 5,000 square feet, hose and sprayers are awesome and they work really well and they're very convenient. You don't have to, you don't have that big tank that you're trying to mess with. You simply just fill this up and broadcast it out. So what a piece of advice I'll give you for spraying with a hose and sprayer. I don't like to work in sections that are any greater than 2,000 feet at a time. Why is that? Well, because 2,000 feet is a big area, right? So if you're trying to spray 2,000 square feet, you want to have enough time to be able to get the liquid out over that given area. Which kind of brings me to my next point, which is how do you know your application rate with a hose and sprayer versus a backpack sprayer? You know, with a backpack sprayer, we've got 4 gallons of water. We know that we've got, say 9 ounces per 1,000 in our backpack sprayer. I know for that 4 gallons how much I've got to get broadcast across the 5,000 square feet. Well, with a hose and sprayer, you set your volume. So let's say for example, we're going to put out 1 ounce per 1,000, and I want to cover 2,000 square feet. So I'm only going to put 2 ounces of liquid in here, right? And then I'm going to set my dial to, doesn't matter whether it's 2 ounces, 4 ounces, 8 ounces, doesn't matter. The goal is I have to get that entire 2 ounces of liquid over my 2,000 square feet. So that would be 1 ounce per 1,000. Doesn't matter how many gallons, that doesn't matter. All that matters is that the 2 ounces that we put in here is evenly broadcast across the 2,000 square feet. Where the dial comes into play is how quickly this venturi, this cylinder, is going to get emptied. So if I crank this up to 4 ounces per 1,000, again, all that's going to do is speed up the time that I have to spray. Just like with a backpack sprayer. Some of the variables with a backpack sprayer is how big your swath is, what your walking speed is. Okay, those are your variables with a backpack sprayer. Really, your only variable with a hose and sprayer is how fast the product draws out. I hope all that makes sense. If it doesn't, please leave me a comment down below. I'd love to answer your question down there as well. So make sure you do that if you've got a question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some liquid in here. So my front lawn is 10,000 square feet, but I'm not going to do that 10,000 square feet. I'm just going to kind of go out into the lawn, probably going to do 2,000 square feet. So if we're going to do 2,000 square feet and we need to do 6 ounces per 1,000, how much liquid do you think we need to put in here? Pause the video for a second, answer that. So if you're going to do 6 ounces per 1,000 and you've got 2,000 square feet, you're going to put 12 ounces of liquid in here. We're going to just simply pour the fertilizer directly in here. Again, as I said, it doesn't matter what the dial setting is. That just depends on how fast it's going to come out. And that is through trial and error. The only way you're going to know that based on your walking speed, do you want to listen to music while you're out spraying? Do you want to smoke a cigar while you're out spraying? Or are you in a hurry? If you're in a hurry, crank the thing up, get it out. Again, the main goal here, like anytime you're spraying anything, is we have to get the entire liquid evenly broadcast. That's the key word, evenly. It has to be even. So however much water or how much time that takes you is up to you. So I feel like I'm rambling. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Let's put 12 ounces of the GCI 2000 in the sprayer. Let's get it sprayed out.
I've been losing myself again in your smoke when I breathe you in. I'm breaking down, I'm spinning out. Yeah, I've been staring at the ceiling, on the floor, so cold I'm shivering. The way that you leave and then come back for me. Lord knows I can't get you off of my mind. Knock me down low, then you give me so high. Give me so high. So slow you crept up, took over my life. If I could have lived
me talk to you guys for just a second about some things I was thinking about. So if you noticed, probably the biggest downside to using a hose and sprayer is your hose management. It's not one of my strong suits, is managing my hose. You know, hose is heavy, you gotta walk backwards. You know, it's kind of one of the downsides. Plus, it only goes so far out into the lawn. Again, if you've got a small lawn, not gonna be a problem. But like I said, the main goal here is we've got to get, you know, that liquid evenly put out across that, you know, that square foot. No matter whether you're spraying out of a hose end or if you're doing a backpack, the one thing you got to know is the area that you're covering. You know, I know how big my lawn is. I've measured it, and I encourage you to make sure you measure your lawn. You know, this wasn't an exact science. This was just more showing you guys kind of how to do it. Because honestly, I don't know how big that area was. I'm assuming about 2,000 square feet, because that's kind of, I know this half is 5,000 square feet, and so I did roughly about half of that. So I know it's going to be close. Not going to hurt anything. Not worried about that at all. But if you are spraying, you have to know how big the area is that you're covering. Notice I just walked backwards, went in kind of a fan motion, again trying to get it evenly. I walked down a path, and then I slid over, and then I walked down backwards. Again, the reason why you want to walk backwards is just so that you're not tracking back into that wet grass. And again, like I mentioned, it helps with the hose management. If you feel like it's coming out too fast, say you know you've got that 2,000 square feet that you're trying to cover, and it's coming out too fast, you're not able to get, you know, say halfway through that 2,000 square feet and you're already past halfway on your dial, cut it back a little bit. I think I had that thing opened all the way up to 8 ounces per gallon of water, which was pretty fast. So if it was coming out too fast, I didn't feel like I was gonna get all the way to the end of my 2,000 square feet before I was gonna run out of liquid. Cut that back, maybe 6 ounces or 3 ounces. Again, all that it's doing is metering the amount of liquid that it's putting per gallon of water. So if it's coming out maybe it's coming out too slow, and you're just standing here forever, and it just feels like, you know, you're not, it's not ever going down. That could be one of two things. Number one, which has happened to me, which is why I recommend that Chameleon, is maybe your water pressure isn't high enough for that Venturi to actually work. So maybe it's not actually drawing liquid. Or what's more likely is that you've got your dial is too small. So you need to open it up, and that'll kind of help speed things along. Like anything, practice makes perfect. Practice with water. That way you don't hurt anything. This 2000 is not going to hurt anything either, especially because of all the water we're putting down. So thank you guys so much for checking out the video. If you will, got a question, leave it down below. I'll leave links to everything for you guys. Stay blessed. My name is Devin, the DIY Lawn Coach. I'll see you in the lawn. Peace.
You try to hold me down, keep me on the ground. You try to pull me close so I couldn't go.